The Venus initiation is the fourth of the 5 Sisters of Seshat initiations. It comes after the Mercury initiation, which walks the path of knowledge. The initiation takes the candidate on a journey from the sphere of the Earth to the sphere of Venus along the 29th path, the sphere of the Moon to the sphere of Venus along the 28th path, and the sphere of Mercury to the sphere of Venus along the 27th path. Each of the first 4 initiations has the character of one of the 4 elements. The Earth initiation corresponds with Earth, the Moon initiation corresponds with air, and the Mercury initiation corresponds with fire. This initiation corresponds with water. For that reason, the Stylistes, who manages water in the temple, has a leading role to play in this initiation. Where there are only 3 officers, the Hyrus takes on the role of the Stylistes. Each sphere on the Tree of Life has correspondences, including a number, a color, and a metal. These correspondences come from Hellenistic magic and were passed down through the Western magical tradition to the Golden Dawn. The number of the sphere of Venus is 7, the color is green, and the metal is copper. Each of the paths that connect the spheres of the Tree of Life also have correspondences. The 29th path is associated with the astrological sign Pisces, and the color of the path is sea blue. Just as the candidate walked the path of fire in the Mercury initiation, in this initiation the candidate walks the path of water by walking around and then stepping into a circle of bowls. The sign of Pisces, the fish, calls to our mind the many goddesses who take on the form of a fish or for whom the fish is sacred. These include the Aramaic goddess Atargatis. The candidate makes an offering at the altar of Atargatis. The description of this altar comes from Lucian's ancient text De Dia Syria, the Syrian goddess. The 28th path is associated with the astrological sign Aquarius, and the color of the path is blue. As the candidate walks the path between the Temple of the Moon and the Temple of Venus, she is guided by the goddess Juno, in her dual aspect as maiden and mother. The candidate then meets Juno as queen and warrior. The candidate receives the girdle of Aphrodite, which grants that the one who wears it is irresistibly desirable. The 27th path is associated with the planet Mars, and the color of the path is red. Mars appears red, and nearly every culture has called Mars the red planet. Venus, the Roman goddess, is closely related to the Greek goddess Aphrodite. She took as her lover the god of war Ares, Roman Mars. Ares, as a warrior, particularly defends women and grants them the sword. Aphrodite, too, has a warrior aspect and can bear the sword. People of all genders who wear the girdle of Aphrodite can become targets of violence. As the candidate moves from the Temple of Mercury to the Temple of Venus along the path of Mars, she receives a sword so that she can take up arms to defend herself and others. The sisters tell stories of times we have defended ourselves and those we love. Our journey concludes in the Temple of Venus. When Ares enters the home of Aphrodite, he lays aside his armor and becomes vulnerable and caring. In the Temple of Venus, the Sisters of Seshat relax with one another and share stories about the beauty that sustains us. The ritual ends with the closing of the temple. The new sister is encouraged to recreate the Venus temple herself through visualization, meditation, or a physical altar, and work with the energy of the 7th sphere. The next initiation is the Sun initiation, which is the path of ascent. We hope you are inspired to learn more about Magia Femina and explore it yourself and with your friends. Remember to subscribe to be sure to catch our new videos.